Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another great episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. Whenever she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures such as shopping for DeLoreans, picking fights with random people while dressed up as one of the Road Warriors, and also looking for the fabled Cobra Kai Dojo, Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In the second corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. And we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. She is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he's made of chicken and beef. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the third corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us tonight. No, you see, we have two extraordinary gentlemen with us tonight that are making a name for themselves in the Lone Star state of Texas. And I don't have any exes from Texas, although if I did, I don't think I'd be alive right now. But first up, we have the Morning Star, former Renegade of Wrestling member, Rudy Garza. And we don't think he's related to Hector and Angel Garza, or Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo in WWE, but who knows? Maybe he is. And his creative director, one of the most brilliant minds in Texas, Dan Miller.
Hey, you
Gentlemen,
finally got one right.
gentlemen, how are y'all doing tonight?
I'm
Living the
doing great.
dream.
Awesome. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. I just got to say, thank you very much for, taking time out of y'all's busy schedules, to be on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. It's always great talking to people from, Texas, especially people that know who Kathy is. And we hope it's all good things and not bad things. If it's bad things, hey, by all means, y'all can settle that, somewhere. But how y'all do? But other than that, thank you once again. And so how have things been for y'all down? I mean, Rudy, you were part of one of the most, dominating stables in reality of wrestling, Renegades of Wrestling. And as they say, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. That was a very unique stable, one of the most unique stables I've ever seen in all my years of watching Renegade reality of wrestling. And y'all took it over by force. And of course, now you've broken away from that. You've actually formed an alliance with Dan Miller. How have things been going for y'all?
I mean, I've been good since then. To be honest, the reason it was a force to reckon with is because of me. You can thank me for that. Other members of the Renegades, they're doing well, but the only one that kept it live and kept it, relatable is because of me. If you watch this in the beginning of it was formed, it was all about me, and still, now that I formed a partnership, a great alliance with the great Dan Miller, it's been even better, you know. Great minds think alike, and when those two things happen, oh, the sky's the limit.
Awesome, awesome. Wow. So that's why you're the Morning Star, because you pretty much are the star. And I guess that's like pretty much from the crack of dawn, you are the star.
I live, breathe, and eat the spotlight. That's what I do. I am who I am from beginning to end. When I wake up, if I do, go to sleep.
Awesome. Awesome. So I just gotta ask real quickly, before we go any further, like, how did the Morning Star, and I'm gonna ask you this too, Dan, because like I said, you're a brilliant mind as well, and I always like to know how people get their start. We always like to know how people got their start. So first up, Rudy, how did you become involved in professional wrestling? What was the match or main event that made you decide, hey, you know something? Professional wrestling needs a star, Morning Star, somebody to bring, pay-per-view rates up, buy rates up, merch sales up, et cetera, et cetera. How did it all start for you?
Different than everyone else. Whatever time I hear someone is like, oh, when I was little, I've watched this. Not me. I finished my collegiate career. I moved back to Houston one of my buddies took me to the NXT Takeover where Andrade beat Drew McIntyre for the NXT title. He took me. It was my first WWE event, first time watching wrestling since I was like 10. So I took it just for the fun, for the drinks, just to enjoy something different. And right there and then I was like, man, I could do this better than them. I loved the atmosphere. I enjoyed it. I was like, man, it feels like when I was in college, when the spotlight was bright, it was all on me, and the atmosphere was crazy. If you ever been a collegiate athlete, you can know the feeling, especially as a track and field athlete. It's all on you. And when you're in first place, everyone's cheering you on and telling you that you're the greatest. So when I went to that event, I was like, I could do this. Then my buddy was like, yo, Booker T has a school. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. So I went the next week, Thanksgiving break, literally today or tomorrow will be my 4th year in training wise, fourth year training in this great sport we call professional wrestling. So since then, I just joined, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's awesome. And you've definitely been making history. I mean, come on, you're I guess 1/6 or 1/5. I don't know. There was a lot of y'all when y'all bum rushed that ring. I thought it was like Wu-Tang Clan or jumping somebody. There was like a lot of y'all. So, but definitely, you've been tracking real good. I'm gonna ask you about that Garza thing too, because I'd like to know what would happen if you actually met Humberto and Angel. If it would be like, you know, I'm the better. Yeah. You guys are the same, are part of the Garza family. But I'm the better Garza. Would it be like, hey, you're Garza, I'm Garza, let's team up? We're gonna get to that. But before I get to that, Dan Miller, like I said, one of the most brilliant minds in Texas.
You keep saying that for the rest of the night. That's fine. I don't have to say a word as long as you keep saying that. I'm happy.
One of the most brilliant minds, and creative minds in professional wrestling. So tell us, how did it start for you? What made you go and say, something? I could do better than some of these guys creatively. I can guide some of these guys. I could show them how it's done. How did it start for you? Getting involved with professional wrestling.
Well, I moved down here from the great state of New York a couple of years. I want to say 4 years ago, for tax purposes. I was heavily invested in some cryptocurrencies, and actually my cousin was a wrestler. So I came down here to see what he was all about. And, before you know it, you're watching TV, you're watching wrestling. I've been watching wrestling all my life. And it went for the point where I thought that the adults were in charge and they were able to do the right thing. And I saw so many things in wrestling that I didn't like, that I didn't connect with anymore. And I thought either I'm getting older or the right people aren't doing the right thing. So, I tried my hand at it, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job.
You definitely are. And I mean, I've seen you guys, some of your guys work. I saw that one person that y'all jumped. I was like, man, they definitely learned that day. And I definitely see, y'all going far. So I gotta ask you, they say in professional wrestling, never say never. Rudy, you were part of the Renegades of Wrestling. Dan, you're obviously, creative director for Rudy. And don't crucify him, but let's say if they wanted to bring the band back together one more time, Dan. But Rudy, and okay, let's say Rudy, the focus is going to be on you. You're going to be like Roman Reigns. They're going to be like the rest of the bloodline. You're going to be like David Ruffin. They're going to be like the rest of the Temptations. Let's say if it's that scenario. Dan, would you be open to lending your services to those other guys? I mean, obviously, Rudy comes first, but.
Well, listen, whatever I'm involved in comes first. And, with the Royalties International, what we've been doing right now, if you are a part of our group right now, it's 2. We are talking to some other folks, but they get my services for free. There are members of the Renegades who have come to me, but they've had to pay for my services. So down the line, if there's a Renegades reunion or whoever wants to set that up, that's up to Rudy. if he wants to be a part of that. If they want me to be a part of that, Rudy's not paying anything. They got to pay. And hey, that's nothing against them. It is if I feel the need to offer my services pro bono to people, if it benefits me. And Rudy, you can answer that. You're a part of the question.
I mean, Dan is his own businessman. Makes money and makes money. That's what we talked about. Me and Dan always does this. Once again, this is a partnership because we know what's better for the business and we agree on a lot of things about the business, how it could be better. Now the Renegades thing, like I say never, but I already had my little taste on it. If they want to step up and they want to become main eventers, if they want to be like we're doing now, if they want to change the game the way we want to and not stay the course of how this business is going, then we can talk about it. But once again, this is business and this ain't personal. It ain't nothing, but it's business. If you want to make money, you have to step up your game to make money like we're doing, right? You have to do things that not people are going to like. I really don't care what the fans think, and I don't care what anybody else thinks, but I know if it makes money, it's going to make money. Now, once again, never say never. It's professional wrestling. Once again, if, let's say, down the line, they finally realize they want to step up to the main event game and they want to do conquer the world that we are trying to do, so be it. But if not, that's on Dan to do. They want to go and see how Dan's greatness is. Once again, like Dan says, they have to pay. But if Dan sees them worthy enough to do pro bono, then that's on Dan, right? It's a business and it's all about money. So that's my say so on it.
Awesome. So, Rudy, you actually have a popular last name that any wrestling fan that's been following hardcore should know, Garza. You know, um, and one man that carries that name is Hector Garza, who actually had one of the best moves that still amazes me to this day. R.I.P. to him, the corkscrew plancha from the top rope. And now he has this. Now there's his two nephews, Humberto Carrillo, and well, it's really pronounced Angel Garza, who are actually in WWE. What would be your reaction if you were to see those guys in person? Would you be like, yeah, something, we're all Garzas, but I want to show y'all who's the more superior Garza, who's the star? Or would you be like, I could see something here. Yeah, maybe you guys are actually, this might work out. Let's team up and win some titles and whatnot. What would your reaction be?
I mean, their family, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe down the line we have a lot of similar facial structures, right? We might be family. I don't know. I asked them about their family first, figure out if we're actually our family. But once again, it's about business, and if it makes sense, teaming up and we can make money together and win championships and go around the world and conquer, so be it. But once again, I want to be the best in this business. I want to strive to be the best in this business, and I'm going to be the best in this business. And if teaming up with them helps me go up to that level, man, that's so be it. And that's great because we're family. That makes sense. But if not, then, you know, we're going against each other. I'm going to show you that I am the better Garza.
Awesome. I just got one more question, and Dan, it's actually for you. So, if somebody wanted to become, first off, let me back it up. Being a creative director is not something that just any and everybody can do. I mean, I tell people that when it comes to Ringside Society and us, striving to be not the same as every other podcast, my mind is always running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Um, just trying to be creative. I know it's not easy. You being a creative director, doing great work with, Rudy Garza. What would you recommend somebody who wanted to become a creative director? What advice would you give them?
I would say get back in a time machine, go to when you're 5 years old and start, doodling, start drawing, start thinking out ways that a video is produced. I started recording bands when I was 12 years old. This is something that has taken a long time to get to. You can't just be, 25, 26, 30 years old and just decide without any prior background that you're going to do something like this. it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of YouTube. It's a lot of skill that you learn. I went to college for this. I worked in television. I worked in radio. I worked in movies. I've been there, done that. And the only reason why I'm here in wrestling is because I love wrestling so much. And trust me, it's not like wrestling pays a big chunk of the bills. Like it does, it can, if you're really good at it and you work hard, yeah, you get a pretty penny out of here. But the only reason why I'm doing it is because I love it so much. Start young, retain information, take criticism, and try to be better than the day that you were before. Keep making better stuff. Outdo yourself.
Awesome. So for those of you that are striving, aspiring to be a creative director, you actually just got some advice from one of the best to do it. Anything else, anything else, you probably got to pay him a fee, hit him up on PayPal or Cash App, because I'm pretty sure his time is money. So you got a little something, something.
Certainly. Well,
So
and let me tell you something. A lot of the stuff that I do, you could see, whether it be on some of the local indies here, on Reality of Wrestling. But I would say 10 times as much stuff as you see is stuff that I do that you don't see, or that is not attributed to my name. And a lot of that is the passion part of it. A lot of that is being able to, on one hand, have a visual branding for yourself, and another part of it is being able to go with the branding of something that already exists. So yeah, I have stuff where you can take a look at it and be like, oh, that's a Dan Miller production right there. But there's a lot of other stuff where you might not be able to tell, but trust me, I worked on it.
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard it from one of the great minds when it comes to being a creativity director. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy has a couple of questions for y'all as well. So actually, we have a Danny Phantom who has a question for Dan for you, Dan. Danny, go ahead. What question do you have? I don't know if he's going to be quick. All right, I'll tell you what, Danny. When you get that question, definitely shoot it. We'll have one of us will actually read it. But okay. Here it goes now. He says, okay, Danny Phantom is asking, who are you looking to recruit?
Stay tuned, find out.
There you go, Danny. Just got to stay tuned. Just keep your eyes peeled. All right,
You'll
Kathy.
see him.
All right, Kathy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks for me. What's up, guys? How's your Monday?
The best ever.
Awesome.
Terrible. It's raining.
Yeah, it rained over here too in Louisiana. It's been horrible and cold.
Ooh, that's the
got
ball, baby.
One happy Monday and one sad Monday. So there you go. So to kind of for Dan to kind of piggyback off of Remy, what you were just talking about, some of the videos you made were you've made one for Will All Day, you've made one for Ryan Davidson, and you actually made one for Dex Harm, which he used to be in the Renegades of Wrestling with Garza. So those were pretty cool. Hats off to you. Those are the ones we've seen. You also said you got into broadcasting and radio and TV by going to college, which I did too. But I'm not as successful as you. Hats off to you there too. What people don't know also is like, or some people might know if they go to Row, like Reality of Wrestling. You're a camera guy for Reality of Wrestling. So how did you get into Reality of Wrestling and do like videos for them and become their cameraman?
Well, I was plagued with an injury not too long ago, and then to producer Kevin there, he knew that I'd gone to college for video production and digital media, and he just said one day, "Hey, you want to shoot the show?" And 2 years later, I know where my bread's buttered. I know these people. I could lock up if I need to, but I know where my bread's buttered.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like you get in some of these matches with Rudy, like you'll get involved. You have any aspirations to wrestle?
If if someone ticks me off and I have to, yeah. But as for like going for a belt, no, I'm helping Rudy.
So you've had training, like maybe through Reality of Wrestling? You've
I've had
wrestled.
matches.
You've had matches. Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So my next question.
Well, I guess I wake up in pain every day, which is why I'm making videos for people.
That ties into my next question. So you have this dry, sarcastic wit about you. Like every time I talk to you, you always have something cool to say and funny. Like, have you always been like that? Is that part of your personality, or you just because
Ask
it's
my
pretty?
girlfriends.
So every time I talk to you, you always have something funny to say, and it cracks me up. So I was just wondering if like you've always been that way.
Well, geez, I wouldn't be in this business if I weren't. I mean, there are wrestlers, there are people that work in this business. They got nothing to say when you talk to them. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? Right, Rudy? Rudy Garza? Someone who always has something to say?
He's correct. Like a lot of these wrestlers are fucking boring. Sorry for my language. But they're boring, dry, even in the ring, everywhere. Promos, everything sucks. That's what we're trying to change. And Dan is like I said, two great minds, man. Like we understand. Like they're boring. That's the reason I'm around Dan 24/7 a lot, because he's creative. He's like funny. He's great. He's just an amazing character. Not just a character like a professional wrestler, just a personal character himself. He's amazing. He's funny. He's great. Great mind. No duh. I'm enjoyable every single time around. And the other wrestlers, oh, I hate being around them. But him, I enjoy it.
Yeah, Dan's a trip. I would say I'd call him the man, but kind of Becky Lynch took that, so I'd call him Dan the man. But
he's a creator.
Yeah, we have some funny stuff. There was one time I went to Reality of Wrestling, and he was the cameraman, and he was right in front of me, and I was like, Dan, if you don't get out of the way, I'm gonna just video your butt the rest of the night. And you were like, I don't care, go ahead. That's just like the quick wit and sarcastic stuff.
Well, if you're looking for views, then yeah.
Just plaster your butt on YouTube, I guess, right? Dan, you're awesome. I love you. Well, my phone's ringing. Hold on a second. All right, that was my sister. So she left a message and everything, live TV, whatever. But all right. So Rudy, you recently wrestled Shota, which he's doing like a Texas tour right now, and he never really has a bad match. So like, how is wrestling Shota?
It was fun. It was great. Showed him what a true international star looks like. But we had fun. We had a good match. One of my favorites to do. To be honest, me and Dan. Like I said, we outsmarted him, like we always do, like all our opponents. But it was great. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. So you two are like, Dan's got the shirt, Royalties International. How did that come about? I know you guys like have common interest and everything, but like, where did the name come from, and what's the backstory of that?
Dan can tell you.
Royalties means you pay us, and we kind of went from there.
Okay, self-explanatory. There you go.
Yep. We're international. He's from Mexico. I'm from New York.
All over the world, baby.
There you go. It writes itself, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the last New Texas Pro show, New Texas Pro 4, that just happened 2 weeks ago, not last Friday, but the past Friday. You guys called out Mysterious Q, one of the Texas pillars, and you said, I'm gonna be the new pillar. So, and that basically happened because for High on Super Smash Show, Rudy wrestled Isaac, which I have another question about that with Isaac. But Mysterious Q came in your match and got involved. So is that basically why you want to wrestle Mysterious Q on? I think it's December 30th at Lone Star 3.
Yeah, correct. Not just once, but twice he interrupted us. The first time in Texas Contenders, we were trying to make a statement, then he wants to come out of nowhere and interrupt us. Oh, because it's the main event. No, then the second time after we showed Isaac what it is to be a professional wrestler, no longer being the stripes, he wants to come up and save Mr. Isaac. Bullshit. Like December 30th, we're gonna show him that he is no longer the Texas Pillar. It took him 10 years to be a Texas Pillar. It took me like what, 3 to be a face and name in here. You saw it in New Texas 4. Like, we didn't even have to speak. We had to make the biggest noise. We didn't even have a match. People make reactions because we're there. No, duh, I'm the new Texas Pillar. And I will always be a Texas Pillar. I should have been a Texas Pillar for a long time ago. But he got lucky, and every other wrestler got lucky, that I had better aspirations in life and had to get 2 college degrees. And I became a collegiate athlete. I strive further than them, right? They got lucky. But you know what? Everything Texas course for a reason, right? And those stupid ass fans, ooh, those locals fans too, they piss me off every time. I swear. Next one that steps up to me and tries to disrespect me again, I swear I'm gonna smack the living hell out of them, because you don't throw something at me, you don't disrespect me, you don't step up to me. Once again, I'm a professional. You're just a scrub. That's why you're in the seats and I'm in the middle of the ring. But for Q, look, he's done this so many times. He's already, you did 2 strikes. You don't get a third one. Your third one will be December 30th.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely has a challenge there. So the next question kind of piggybacks off of that. Isaac has been a Reality of Wrestling referee and other promotions too. He's ref there, like New Texas Pro. Uh, and he's becoming a wrestler. So what was it like to wrestle a referee? Like, did you make some stiffer shots because maybe he called your match wrong, or like how did that go wrestling Isaac?
But first, Danny Phantom, you suck. You stink. And your face probably says that. Your mom is disappointed in you. Stop booing greatness. And second of all, me and Isaac, we've known each other since reality wrestling time. He screwed my matchup against BK in the royalties tournament in the first round. If he didn't put my hands on me, I had BK won. I had him down and about, but he had to shove me and push me. Cost me my match. He's done that multiple times. He's called multiple of my matches, right? But he wanted to step up. He saw how we were mistreating the refs, the officials, so he wanted to step up. And we showed him, just like we showed everyone else. Do not interfere in Royalties International's business.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like, you're going after the one pillar, with Mysterious Q, and the one Texas pillar, but you actually wrestled the other Texas pillar in Brian Keith. So yeah, you've had like that's the cool thing about Texas. Like, you get so many people, in such a short time. Like, you've wrestled Brian Keith. You're about to wrestle Mysterious Q. You've wrestled Terrell Tempo a couple of times. You've wrestled Will All Day, and you just wrestled Stephen Wolf too. So like, what was all the great, all those people that we just named? Like, what was your great memories of all those matches?
Me in the spotlight? I mean, everything I step in. I don't know. It's I don't think about memories. I mean, every memory that I do is when I win. And when I step in the ring, they're great competitors. They've done this for so long. The difference between them and me is that it took them this long to be great, not me. And they should be honored to wrestle me instead of me wrestling. Being honored to wrestle them. Right? It's great, and I'm honored. But once again, that's the memory, right? We made memories inside the ring, and if you watch every match that we had, you can watch it. Me and Stephen Wolf, you can watch it in like next week or 2 weeks from now in Reality of Wrestling. Made the main event against television title. If you want to watch the results, you can. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. And me and BK, once again, that's when COVID happened. There was no fans. Just imagine if there was fans, it would be like the best match of the world because BK is great and I'm amazing. So just imagine that. And me and Will all day, he just lucky that I was just starting. I was just starting when I wrestled him. So, and Terrell Tempo, it's Terrell Tempo.
Okay, fair enough. And then my last question before I turn it over to Rob: Christmas Chaos is coming for Reality of Wrestling, and you're the Morning Star, and I'm pretty sure you have something cooked up. So, is there anything you can tell us? Are you going to be there? Well, I'm sure you're going to be there first of all, but is there anything you can reveal, or do we have to watch it in person, or
You
and
gotta
then watch
watch
it
it.
on YouTube later?
I'll be there if they pay me. You know, once again, this is a business, and if you see me there, it means they're paying me. If you don't see me there, that means they didn't pay me, right? But you'll see. If I have a match there, you'll see it on their Instagram. They'll post it. Um, there's plans in the work, but once again, I'm not revealing anything because you have to be there. It's the point of spoilers, right?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to spoil anything. I was just wondering if there was like a little thing you could give us, but that's all right. But before I turn it over to Rob, just want to say to both of you, thank you for coming on the show, and I am sure I will see you next month at either New Texas Pro, Reality Wrestling, or both. I hope you guys have a good day. All right, Rob.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy. So what's happening, guys, man? How's y'all's Monday going, man? Anything crazy happened today? Just normal Monday?
Just shit.
Oh, yeah. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, it's all good, man. I just had to beat the cold, man. It was like 22 degrees this morning out here, man. I was trying to beat the cold, so yeah, hopefully I can do that. So now, Dan, man, so I wrote something down, man. You were talking about Kathy, man. She was always telling you about, man, I gotta film your butt, do all that stuff. I say the same thing to people on ringside stuff when I'm roughing, because sometimes, when they go for the cover, you got to go up to the head, count at the head, you can't count at the feet or whatever, you can't see that. So sometimes, the camera guy would be like, man, you dove right in front of me, man. I had a close up on your butt. It's like, well, I'm 40 years old. That's my colonoscopy, you know what I mean? That's how you help me out, you know what I mean? You got to do that. So, I always do that, because it's better than the 1800s when they used to send a guy with a sketch pad up there and do it for you. So, I'd rather
Stay in
take
the
a chance like
horseshoe.
that.
They're not going to complain if you stay in the horseshoe.
Yeah, there you go.
A little inside term for all the
Yeah.
fans out there who might not know what we're talking about. Rudy, you've reffed a match or two. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah, because like this is hard cam. I'll just go on my safe spots. I'll be all right. So I gotta ask, man. Rudy, man, I was doing some research and you had some things on your stuff, man. It was cracking me up. Wise Word Wednesday and Motivation Monday. How'd you come up with that and stuff, man? Do you have like a thesaurus? Are you picking out, words, just like, boom, this is what I'm doing. Because I'm always trying to learn new words, because I'm from the country and my words are like mayonnaise. Like, don't go over there. Mayonnaise, there's some crazy people over there. So I always need help with words.
Shoot, man. One day I realized that people are dumb, and I realized that they need some wise words from something great. They follow all the other people and all these Instagram influencers, and they don't live a life the way they live. They fake it, right? And I want to show them some real. And so me and Dan got together, and I was like, "Hey, Dan, I'm thinking about these ideas," and he, tweaked them the way he tweaked them, and that's what we started doing, right? They need some motivation, and I'm their motivation. All you have to do is just look what I do and the way I live. That's how it works, right? And same thing with Wednesdays, right? Wednesday, wise words Wednesday, right? You need some wise words in your life in order to strive for better, right? So I mean, one day I just felt like I saw an Instagram post or TikTok, and I was like, I thought I could do this. Like I said, it's like wrestling. I was like, I could do this better. So I got to Dan, and me and Dan got to talking, and that's how it started.
That's cool. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm glad you're doing that. Helping the low intelligent people like me because I never knew what a pronoun was until a few years ago. If you would have asked me what that was, I've been like a noun that lost its amateur status. That'd be me. So I appreciate that. Help me learn. Get my learn my ABDs and all that. I
ABDs.
also did want to ask, man. I was watching a ladder match with you, man. how stressful is wrestling a ladder match? Because ladder matches can't cooperate and stuff. Like so they do their own thing, man. You can't be like, do this. They might do whatever. But how stressful is that, man? And what's the craziest match you've been in if it hasn't been the ladder match?
I mean, the ladder match is the craziest match I've been in. It's actually the ladder's the easiest part about the match. All you gotta do is use it correctly, like I did. If you
There you
looked at
go.
the match, I used it
Yeah,
correctly. Every
yeah,
other
there you go.
dumbass in there was trying to kill themselves. I was not. I was trying to win. You know.
Mm.
And if you looked at the match even more, I was using every other resource. Right. I saw a kid's shoe. I used it. I used some Legos. I was there. I was being creative. I was being smart about it. I was trying to win the match. Right. But just like you don't win all of them, right? And especially with like a crazy match like that, your odds are even worse, right? But that's the craziest match I've ever done. I don't really try to do crazy matches because once again, those cost money.
Yeah,
Because my body is a temple. My body is, worth something. So if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna put me in a match like that, it has to be worth something, right? So that was my step in to New Texas. So I took the opportunity, and look at me now, right?
there you go,
So
man. Yeah, you out there tearing it up, kicking butt, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you should have that shirt. I came, I saw, I kicked some ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you did. Now I was doing. Now, Dan, you were talking a little earlier, man. You do a little movie work and stuff, man. I was wondering, like, any cool movies you've been on, any cool movie stories? Because we've had some people on here, done scout locations, and he told us about a story about how he almost killed Tom Cruise and stuff like that. So anything crazy like that ever happened?
Nothing. There was a independent war movie that I did some work on in northeastern Pennsylvania, but I mean, everything was relatively safe. Nothing really too crazy in the movie realm. I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but all the movie stuff is kind of boring.
That's cool. Well, then that could lead me to my next question, man. Y'all traveling around Texas, going to different shows. You have any crazy, funny travel stories that have happened? Like you're down in Texas, isn't Chupacabra down that way, or like do y'all got some big feet out there, Bigfoot out there, or something? You ever come across that?
I feel that Mania weekend this year, we had some stories, some of which we can't tell.
Fair enough.
Rudy, that Airbnb was just awful. But,
oh yes.
I don't know. Can you think of anything in particular? Any shenanigans we got ourselves into?
I mean the Vegas trip when we went to
Oh my
Vegas.
God!
That
Right, that was a year ago. That was a year
yes,
ago this weekend. Yeah.
yes, it was crazy. That Vegas trip was just crazy and over, right? Dealing with the boys and dealing with Vegas and new spot, new place. If I'm in Vegas, I'm enjoying myself. And then
the Latin Grammys were going on that night.
Oh,
And
nice.
you ran into what's his face?
I
forget his name.
Little Germ,
Yeah.
Little Germ, right? A Latin Peruvian artist, big name down there. So he came to Latin Grammys. He saw how great we were looking. He was like, "Hey, are y'all going to Latin Grammys?" I was like, "Nah, man, we have a show." So that was a great trip. Got our Instagrams, got a good connect. So we're in the works of trying to do something with them, right? Because I'm a Latin superstar. He's a Latin superstar. So
Mm-hmm.
we're trying to collab somewhere in there, right? But it was good. That was a fun thing to do, right? And that was they invited us to the Latin Grammys. But
Oh
however,
man.
like I said, we're professional, so we had a show the next day. So we stuck with our plans, and I should have took it. But
I agree.
Yeah, I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, I can sacrifice sleep for this one time. Like I should be okay. I catch some sleep later on. So
You
is Vegas the
sacrifice
far?
the next night.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now is
that
Vegas
was
the
a fun.
farthest you guys traveled so far? For
Uh,
wrestling or anything?
so far for me, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
So far.
cool. So Rudy, man, I gotta ask you, man. The first time, they sent you out there, first match, what was that like, man? Did you have those jitters? Was it nerve wracking, or were you like, yeah, I got this, I'm ready to roll, let's do this?
When they first they're like, up, you're going against Claire Roberts, your first match. I was like, okay, I was nervous when before the bell. When I came out once again, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But around the bell ring, ding, 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 it was like second nature. Uh, that was that match. The first match made me realize, like, yep, I should stay in this business, right? After that 1, 2, 3 hit, and I beat Clay Roberts, and my hand was risen. I realized, yep, I should stay in this business. This business needs me, and yeah, man, it was a train wreck beforehand, mentally and everything else. Trying to get into it, but once again, I just smacked myself and realized I'm a morning star. So you could do this like in the back of your hand and go to sleep. I could do this in my sleep, and I did. I showed it. If you ever watched that match, that was probably one of the best debuts match you ever seen, because it looked like I've been doing this for a while, and I wasn't. That was my first match ever.
Oh man, yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, hey, yeah. Oh, that confidence, you know what I mean? That just leads you somewhere. Yeah, yeah. I see you doing nothing but grabbing titles everywhere you go, man. Coast to coast. I mean, border to border, north south, all around the world. Now in ROW, man, that I've seen that they not only do you all train for wrestlers and stuff, man. You also have ref training and stuff, man. How is that training going? You know, what I mean, and, do you have a lot of people coming in for the training for refs, or is it more wrestlers? People coming in training for wrestling.
Man, that's an Isaac question right there. I don't know. I mean, Isaac is the head ref over there. I'm just a star. I go there
There
when
you
they
go.
want me to wrestle. You know.
I think there's a handful that are probably about ready.
Yeah, like in my school, like it's everybody wants to be a wrestler. There's like one or two people, me and the other guy Eric. He's like, yeah, we're ref, yeah, it's fine, but they train us like wrestlers. Like they made us, we had to learn to run the ropes, take bumps, and all that stuff, just in case, all that stuff. But yeah, man, I feel it's always, with us, it's like, yeah, more wrestlers than trying to be a ref, but
To be honest, a referee should learn the ins and outs. That's like just like a professional
hmm
wrestler. That
hmm
will makes a not just the business better, but the match better, right?
hmm
Just like a wrestler should learn how the camera works and how
hmm
TV works, right? Every aspect of this business, everyone should learn, right?
hmm
That's why I put my hands and me and Dan start working together, because he knows everything inside, in and outside of the ring, right? I just knew how to be an athlete. I just knew how to be a charismatic person, right? But when I teamed up with Dan, I learned the ins and outs of TV, the angles, the production side, right? I learned promos. I learned so much from this man that I was like, man, I didn't know that was needed. And that changed my game up and stepped me up. Instead of taking 10 years to learn this, I learned it in
hmm
a year. I learned it in 3, right? I learned everything
hmm
people do that took them so long to do. I learned it in a short amount of time because of this man, right? So
hmm
if you're a referee, if you're a wrestler, if you are an announcer, if you are a cameraman, learn everything about this business, inside the ropes, outside of the ropes. I'm telling you this, it would change the game. A lot of people just
hmm
try to have fun with this, and that's great and all, but once again, this is a business. You don't
hmm
see producers in movies and in TV shows trying to make this for fun. No, they take this seriously. They learn the
hmm
ins and outs, right? Yeah, that's why you see a lot of actors now become producers and everything else, because that's what makes their acting game better, right? As an actor myself, right, as a signed actor, when I was in a commercials and I was backstage, I wasn't just filming. I was asking questions. I was looking at the camera views. I was looking at everything to see what's better. I asked questions, right? Because as a professional, you need to know everything about the business that you're doing, right?
hmm
So my word of advice for anyone that's trying to start this game: start training, but start training for other things as well. You don't might not be a great wrestler, but you might be an amazing referee. Referees are important. You might not be a great referee or thing or wrestler. You might be a great cameraman. You might know everything about the angle. You might learn something about production. You have to know your gift. Stop believing that you're a professional wrestler because you want to be just like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like The Rock, like Shawn Michaels. No, stop living the fairy tale dreams and understand reality, right? Not everyone can
hmm
be as great, right? I can tell you this: if Dan wasn't injured, he'd be right there next to me in the ring, right?
hmm
But because of injuries, right, that cost him. But he realized, hey, I know where my bread and butter's at, right? Just like me, I know where my bread and butter's at, right? I wouldn't go to Dan and be like, "Hey, Dan, let me produce this for you." No, that's why we make a great partnership, right?
That's right. Yeah, man. Because when I started training, my trainers they're like, "Yeah, make you like a utility man, like somebody who could do anything. Like, hey, we need to plug you in the ring announcer or something, or we need you to ref or something, or man, we got a guy coming in or something. He's gonna need a manager. I mean, we can plug you in to do that." And I was like,
Oh, did we lose him?
I believe
He's
we did.
frozen.
Oh no! Damn,
Uh-oh.
Dan, your greatness just frozen.
He
Really
froze.
bad.
"Yeah, my bad, my
There
Wi-Fi.
it is.
It's too cold out here."
But
Yeah,
yeah,
my bad.
commentating
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Commentating, please. Let's get better commentators in this
Mhm,
business.
Yes.
mhm. Yeah, because
Commentators
I've all.
make the live events better.
Mhm,
Stop talking about your ex-girlfriend and your friendships and whatever and everything else. Talk about the match. Talk about the
mhm,
great people in the match, right? I'm tired of
mhm.
these commentators having conversations. If you're not about the business, stay away from it,
Yeah.
right? If you're not here trying to make the business better, stay away from it. If you're here
Mhm.
just for yourself, get away from it, right?
That's
That's
right.
why.
Yeah, because I was told, yeah, tights, stripes, and mics. You should always, be training. I mean, always learning, always trying to get better and stuff. I mean, those things. I was like, all right, that's awesome right there. I like that. What I mean, so that's why I still, no matter what, every week I'm going to training. What I mean, do my training every week. I don't care. I'll be 45, 50 years old. I'll still be dragging, my rocket chair right up in there with them young boys. Like, all right, let's go do some stuff, man. We gonna do this. So
And
now I gotta
training,
ask.
and
Oh,
one
go
more
ahead.
thing. And training is not just bumps and running the ropes, right?
Yeah.
It's film studying as well, right? Learn from the
Mhm.
greats. Learn, look, ask questions. Study the game, study the
Mhm.
exact game, not just how they roll, not how cool move this person does. See how the angles work, see how they do
Mhm.
promos, see every little aspect of this game, and not just the cool moves that you see in
Yeah.
Japan or in Mexico or back in the day or like Rey Mysterio does. No, like watch the greatness, great. Watch the people that do this the best, and see the little small things. And I'm not talking about the greatest in the ring. I'm talking about the greatest that's ever done this in the
Mhm.
business, production, and refereeing wise and commentating wise, right? Watch
Mhm.
everything, study everything.
That's right. That's right. See, the only thing I'm afraid about doing is commentating because yeah, sometimes a move will happen and I like letting those four-letter words fly and we tape for TV and it's a family show, so I'm like, oh man, I might have to stay away from that one, man. But anything else, yeah, I got. Now I do gotta ask, what's y'all's next show? Is it December 30th? Is that what you said earlier? December 30th is your next show?
December 8th, the contender
December
series.
8th.
Every contender series, you most likely see us there.
Yep.
And December 30th is the big one, right? You'll
Okay.
see us there and against, Q. Y'all definitely want to watch that one.
Yeah, Mysterious Q, man. Yeah, you too. That match is gonna be fire. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see that one. I mean, that's gonna be exciting, man. I'm definitely gonna try and check that out. Now, before I, pass it on back to Remy, I do want to ask. See, I'm always trying to find new movies and TV shows to watch because I watch the same things over and over again, like comfort shows. So, is there anything new? Y'all are watching a TV shows, movies y'all went to see or anything?
Rudy, you start.
Um, Lucifer is a good show. Manifest is a good show. I've watched I've watched a lot of stand-ups. So any stand-up was really good to me. I like the funny stuff. I like dark humor. I like watching something that's harsh and making it funny so it could be a light on it. I love watching that. What's it called? The Inside Job, this little cartoon that's on Netflix too, is a pretty good show. It's pretty funny. Um,
Okay,
but I don't really have time to watch stuff. But when I do, I watch those things. Anything comical.
there you go.
Oh, last night I watched The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston. Let me
Oh,
tell you,
okay.
my whole life I heard about how great this movie was. The soundtrack is spectacular, this, that, and the other thing. That movie sucked. Kevin Costner, as good as he is, he cannot carry a movie that's supposed to be structured like that with two strong leads. The writing was terrible. The directing was okay, but the story just sped up, slowed down, sped up, slowed down. You could have probably taken a half hour off of it. And I am just upset. I sent out a tweet last night how I feel gaslit all my life by people saying that this was some sort of a touchstone event in cinema. And the song at the end is only on for like 15 seconds. There's not a big Whitney Houston solo in there with the song that I'm not even going to try to sing, despite the fact that I'm in a sound booth right now.
That's right.
That's not my bag. But I've been watching random things. If I see something that I've never seen before and had just an inkling to watch it, I throw it on. I'm trying not to get in the cycle of, I've seen this so many times and I like it, I'm going to watch it again. I've been trying to just be daring with the things that I click on.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah. Man, yeah, when you said The Bodyguard, that brought me flashbacks, man. My sister, when we were kids, she had that soundtrack, and she would play it over and over again for side A, side B. This was cassette tape time, you know. She would play side A, flip over B, flip it over side A. And the only thing I remember about that movie was he had that real sharp sword that she threw her little scarf on there, just fell, and then I was like, oh, that's cool. I think that was the only coolest thing in the movie. That's all I remember about it. Yeah. That's all I remember. Oh, man. So now I do want to say, before I pass it back to Remy, I want to say, thank you all for coming on and chatting with us about.
Sure.
Oh, Shep, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'm glad to bless this.
My bad, man. My bad. It keeps freezing or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Before I pass it back to Remy, I want to say, thank you for coming on, chatting with us about your career and what's coming up next, your next shows, movies, all that good stuff. I wish y'all nothing but the best, positive things to happen to you and your family, and I see y'all, going coast to coast, grabbing titles, winning everything, doing the best, man.
Us too.
Appreciate you.
Dan, Rudy, thank you very much for taking time out of y'all's busy schedules. We know time is money. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate y'all. Just actually showing up here and just shooting the breeze about pro wrestling, and even giving a little advice on how to go about it and so on. Like I said, y'all got a little something from two of the best in Texas. Anything else, you probably got to hit them up with that PayPal, that Cash App, and then they'll go further. So, but before we shut this down, where can fans find y'all on social media when they want to find out your next appearances, purchase Rudy Garza or Dan Miller merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find y'all when they want to book y'all for their shows?
I mean, you can just find me at Rudy Garza _row, not Rowdy. A lot of people want to say Rowdy. No, it's Rudy Garza, RUDYGARZA _ROW, right? If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, that's my handle, right? And if you want to book us, Dan Miller can handle that.
Email danmillerzone@gmail.com. Twitter, Dan Miller Zone. Instagram, Dan Miller Zone. Facebook, Dan Miller Zone. It's branding. You want one of these shirts? It's $30. They're great shirts. You got front and back.
Ooh.
Gold leaf, specially printed, limited edition. So you're going to have to come find us at the next show to get your hands on these. I have them on me all the time. We are going to be at Texas Contender Series December 8th at the Houston Premier Arena. Reality of Wrestling Christmas Chaos. Special day, special time. Sunday, December 18th at 5 p.m. at the World Gym Arena. And Lone Star 3, New Texas Pro, December 30th. We have a venue. I don't think it's been announced yet, so I'm not going to drop any hints on that here. But keep your eyes on the New Texas Pro Twitter and Instagram, and mine too, because I'm going to RT it, regram it, and etc. So keep your
Life
eyes
one.
peeled. We're going to be doing stuff right up until the very end of the year.
I'm telling you, man, if you want to see greatness in wrestling, follow both of us and continue to follow us. Follow Reality Wrestling, New Texas, the Contender Series, and anything we touch and in, you got to follow because I'm telling you, we're changing the game. And if you ain't in it, then you're going to be sad when you are behind.
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard. Y'all got their social media links. Make sure y'all follow them as well. Dan, that is a cool looking shirt. I would you
It
see
is.
it's only available at shows. I would definitely give some money to Kathy to get me one. But knowing how she likes to bully me, she might keep my shirt for herself and the money, and then she might do like Debo on Friday and say what money. So
You could
yeah,
PayPal me.
yeah, I'll have to find some other way. But yeah,
I
Why
think I
you
want to.
why you put
Hit
me
me
on
up.
blast like that, dude? I
Kathy,
would
we don't
not
like
do
bullying
that.
I wouldn't
here.
trust her either.
I don't like bulliers. I don't like bullies. You got to stop bullying
I
people.
am not a bully. You see what you started, Remy? Look, now I'm gonna go to these shows and they're gonna hate me. I want to take a picture with them. Now you just ruined
Well,
it.
like
No,
anything's
you
new.
got to. I charge for pictures.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, you get a T-shirt, picture, and then get Remy, get him a shirt. Come to the show. Bring I don't know $80. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out and bring like 30 people because they're going to enjoy that day anyways.
Yeah.
so
Okay.
y'all definitely make sure y'all follow them. And you see that sweet merch that Dan Miller actually has. You know, make sure you copy it. If you like gold, there should be no reason why you're not hitting him up right now about getting that gold and black shirt right there. That's if you can't make the shows, that's how you actually support indie wrestling. It's you buy the merch that these men and women put out. If you don't buy the merch, if you don't support indie wrestling, well, guess what? We're gonna have I keep saying this, we're gonna have Rob. Matter of fact, we since it's actually Thanksgiving, the season giving, we're gonna give it to you twice. We're gonna have Kathy come beat you up and tie you up. And trust me, that's not nice. And then we're gonna have Rob raid your fridge and eat all your food. You see how he's skinny, so he'll definitely do it. And next thing you know, when you look into your pots and pans, you'll find a skip rope all over them. That means you got to skip that meal because you done ate all your lasagna, your rump roast, and everything. So make sure you support indie wrestling. That's where the majority of your AEW, WWE superstars, New Japan, all those men and women, that's where they come from. It's the indies. So why not support them, you know, while they're, from the start? And with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Kathy Knight, where can fans find you when they want to talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch, and all things Saraya now? She's back. I bet you're excited. I know you're excited. And all things good eating in Louisiana.
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517.
Cool. Make sure you follow her. She actually does great stuff on YouTube with those edits. Rob Base, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out where your next appearance is, purchase Rob Base merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for your refereeing services?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Rob_base82, and then Facebook Rob Base. And December 3rd, 1CW, CCW, we got is our next show. It's the last one of the year. We got a title versus title match with Kylan King versus Vita Von Star. Gabby Ortiz or Rebecca J. Scott. You know, they're going to be they're battling for the global championship. And also we have Ty also Miles Millennium. They're going for the 1CW Wrestling Championship. And Ranchan Carlson and Moses are going for the Bulletproof Championship. So those are the matchups I know right now, and definitely check it out.
Awesome, awesome. So y'all make sure you check out those two great events. You're getting two shows for the price of one. And CCW actually has a habit of bringing in people from all over the world, all over the country. This one they have, I think, a woman by the name of Sarah Leon, and they have people that they have several people that are making their debut as well. Definitely check out the show. You won't be bored. I'm actually jealous that Rob's over there in Delaware. I'm here in New York, but who knows? One day I'll make it down there. But if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll hear me say something cool. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue and also on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well. and on Facebook under the alias, you guessed it, Remy Blue. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're on Spotify, and we also have a Teespring store who sell official Ringside Society merch. We have T-shirts, we have hoodies, long sleeve shirts, tank tops to show your muscles. We even have coffee mugs for your favorite, warm beverage. So we have several designs. Check us out. Cop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we have great interviews like this one, like the one we have with BD Brawley, Dex Harm, and several other great people as well from Texas, not just Texas, all over the world as well. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. Just type in Ringside Society. And once you see that sweet, good looking, oh so handsome, dark blue and light blue, yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, one more thing, Danny Phantom, we accidentally blocked you. My apologies. We're trying to get you back on. we didn't mean for that, Danny. Like we didn't mean for that, but we're gonna try to get you back on. It's no slight to you, man. We just had a bit of a technological error, but yeah, we're sorry about that. But anyways, with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive to be one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should listen to. To those y'all that are going to listen later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde on Black Friday. We're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. With that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. We're definitely not just any podcast. With that being said, hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for, Rudy's back. All right. So, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the Morning Star, Rudy Garza, and one time for one of the most brilliant creative minds in the state of Texas, the creative director, Dan Miller.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
All right, 3, 2, 1. For the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, and we will be back tomorrow with some more impressive guests on some more impressive episodes. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.